My friend, it's good to see you.
What's happening? Oh my.
You need a hand?
I do.
Or a chain?
Thank you very much.
Matthew Benjamin Chaim.
Yeah. My name is Matthew Chaim. I'm so happy to be home. Sometimes somebody gon' find you. In my pain, gon' find you too. Sunshine. They don't say what they might do. There are days I'll find you.
According to Hip Hop Canada, Matthew Benjamin Chaim is raw, conventional, and he's a musically innovative being that you need to keep an eye on. Tell me about your journey.
It's been a long time. I've been doing this thing for a minute. Used to be a rapper. Now I'm singing, but still sometimes rapping.
And I kinda like agree with y'all, but I really wanna do my thing, like almost out of time, but also really wanna be with y'all. Sound nice, don't it? Put a little ice on it. Feel like we in too deep. Can't find a place to scream. You know I don't wanna lose you. I don't wanna lose you. No, I don't wanna lose you.
And yeah, it's been, lots of ups and downs, but right now I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited to be back here in the home city and ready to put on a sick performance for everyone. This mic is crazy. It's like a dumbbell.
When was the first time you ever made a song?
The first time I ever wrote a song was actually with Jeremy Mona, who's opening tonight.
You already know that. So fresh Prince, they are about to bring the show back.
At the time, he was going by Boots Collabo, and he asked me to write a rap song with him.
Okay, anyway, never gonna understand how it works, but all I can do is go hard till it hurts, right? I don't know, I don't care. If I learn one thing, it's that life ain't fair.
And like our friends here kind of liked it, and I was trying to be kind of funny in all my rap lines, so I was like a punchline rapper.
Rapper. How did you change from being a punchline rapper to a singer?
Good question. Jeremy, who's, was my best friend then, still my best friend now. Like my closest friend is the one who got me into it, in the sense that I don't think at the time I even had the chutzpah, had the courage to even start publicly saying anything.
Scoops. You're scoops. What are you scooping?
What am I I mean, I don't know. I never really thought of that before.
Doing boots and scoops, and then I saw you at Hip Hop Karaoke in 2013 or 14, and I interviewed you. What changed since then till now?
It's funny you say that because Hip Hop Karaoke is right down the street, right? It's right down at Mount Royal in Saint Laurent, and there was this Halloween costume store right there, and I remember I had this, it kicked me into this memory of doing hip-hop karaoke around this time of year. I remember the first song I ever did was Arin Kin Kin, Arin Kin Kin, Arin Kin Kin.
T-O-N-P-T-O-N, my city mobbing in the streets.
All I want is money and power, da 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 da. Is that the song?
Yeah, you got it way more than me, yeah.
All my life I want money and power, respect my mind, no time for nature.
Backseat Freestyle by Kendrick Lamar.
I recently moved to LA though, relocated for this whole music thing, and yeah, I've been enjoying it, but I'm so fucking happy to be home with my best friends and my best family here. best.
city, and the more that I travel, the more that I fall in love with the city, and I'm grateful for having grown up in a city with this sort of pacing and culture and people and personalities, you know, with the people here.
When I first moved to LA, I actually drove from Montreal to LA, and on that drive, I saw a lot of beautiful things. And it kind of like stuck with me, and now nature is like all over the project that I'm going to be putting out, both visually and sonically.
Your new album, what is it called?
This song that I want to play for you now is going to be on that project. It's called Byways.
It's coming out November 8th. It's called The Mathematics of Nature. And yeah, I'm very excited to share it.
Why is it the mathematics of nature?
It's a very good question. I'm still trying to figure that out. It's sort of a name that came to me a while ago.
But usually we just stay home, never stay away. We don't wanna meet them. I'm growing, I don't wanna wait. The love that I need is getting between.
And it just kind of stuck. But I've been drawing a lot, and all the artwork is drawn by me. And all that artwork is of nature. So I've just been like obsessed with drawing ever since I drove from Montreal to LA. I started just like all the mountains that I saw on that drive through the States sort of stuck in my mind, and now I draw them a lot. So that's where the nature came.
That's really good. I know Matthew from school. I broke my own leg on Matthew in the summer of grade 5. I don't play sports. I ran into him. My leg broke. I was angry at him, I blamed him, but I want to say I'm sorry for that. And when your dad, I met him once that year, and when he passed away, I called you to say sorry. And that was a big life-changing for me, changing event, to forgive when you're such a young age. And I wanted to ask you, vulnerability. When your music, you became very vulnerable. How did that happen?
Well, that was just a very vulnerable moment. I thank you for sharing that. That was really beautiful. That is definitely a part of our history. I mean, David and I were very, very close. Very, very close friends back then. And then, yeah, that was an unfortunate event. But, yeah, that was beautiful that you brought it up.
My fault.
I don't know about that, but we ran into each other. His leg got shattered. I walked away scot-free. And you had a pretty shitty summer after that.
I got a chance to spend it with my grandparents, so it's okay.
All right. Well, yes. What was the question again? Vulnerability. Whew, yeah, I mean, music is, I guess, like a way for an excuse to be vulnerable, because I don't necessarily have to be vulnerable in public at first, right? A lot of this shit gets done in a quiet room, maybe with one person, maybe with no one, and I need to be in those sort of conditions to actually get to the place of vulnerability and like heartfelt shit to create the music that I'm creating. Now becomes like a more interesting period of actually going out and singing those songs in front of people and being able to access that vulnerability on stage. And that's something that I'm just starting to, I think, crack into a bit.
The 9-to-5 matrix and go to pursue your dream.
Very good.
We leave that matrix.
That's a very good question. I would say that it's sort of like naturally, happened in the sense that I just kept falling deeper and deeper into writing music. It was a hobby. For a very, very long time. And I did have a job. I graduated university here at McGill, and then I got a job, and I was working full-time and doing this sort of as a light hobby thing, and then it more and more took over my life.
Cause you ain't never happy, there's a thing to make you happy, like where you make love with me, when love you, find no way, I'll stop with you, I'll rock with you, shut down with you, shut down with you, sipping my best friend says she knows.
And so I had moved out, I moved back home, I got a second job. Actually, first I quit my job because I'm like, I'm gonna make music. That wasn't much of a plan. So I ended up getting that job back and getting a second job and moving home. So I just started saving a lot of money And luckily those jobs were positions that didn't absolutely kill my time. Like I still had enough time to do my things on the side, and let's not be like super idealistic. I wasn't then creating every day and then this quickly like slid into a very easy thing to do. There were periods where the music dropped out a bit and I wasn't doing it so much, and I questioned, is this going to happen?
Namaste.
Exactly.
Namaste. Tell us about namaste.
Namaste, what do you mean?
Namaste.
Wait, namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah, so you just keep doing it in the sense that like
Follow me, one, yeah. Never know mine. Chances on the way up. See it at the kids' table. Only here with the grown-ups now. Never know mine. Chances on the way up. See it at the kids' table. We was at the kids' table. I'll trust no rest with the pen now. We do not play pretend now. Hide and seek at the past, yeah. No interest when now. Throwing caution to the wind now. And we gon' win. We gon' win. We gon' win.
yeah, it's a discipline, I guess, in those times to either push through it, or even sometimes you don't push through it. You just like you give up a little. But there's this book, Art and Fear, and it talks about like quitting only is when you like quit for the last time. You're gonna quit a million times and then pick it back up, and that's what's kind of happened to me. And through that effect, like a snowball starts to form, and hopefully still forming, and you pick up momentum that way.
So never give up and build that snowball, especially in Montreal, because it's so cold.
Exactly, it's a very good reference for this place.
Well, thank you very much. Matthew Chaim, everybody.
So I guess those discipline moments definitely help to then, because I think like, to me, like craft is almost like you're digging this cave, right? You're digging this big kind of cave or hole, and you just like dig and dig and dig and make it really nice and smooth on the edges and all this stuff.
Like a beaver.
I don't know what you mean by that, but you create this big, this big tunnel, and then that vulnerability, that heart, it's like a tunnel to your heart, I guess, type thing.
Spirituality. Don't. I'm so sweaty and wet. For you went on 2 spiritual retreats, a silent retreat.
Yes.
Spirituality for you. How's that journey been going?
It's a good question. It sort of just like, I guess, melted into my life. I didn't expect it to happen. I think we're going to buy a pillow for the show.
Okay.
Or like a carpet. I'd be down for like a carpet.
Are we going to haggle? I'm going to haggle.
But whatever did sort of start it, I don't know exactly, probably different forces, led me to wanting to go to on silent retreat, and I just became interested in the nature of consciousness and meditation as a practice and all these things. So I found this silent retreat, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but it ended up being an incredible experience, very difficult and very rewarding. So I did it again a year later, and that last one that I did was over a year ago, and I'm actually going on another one in December. I just signed up for one in California. So this one's not as long. Those were 10 days each, which is grueling. This is 5 nights, so like 6 days or about. Those were really powerful on me and are also really influencing the music. There's definitely some meditative elements happening there. What do you think of this one?
It's nice and it's not as multicolored as this one.
Yeah, but no, I don't know.
This is your color.
You feel this one?
You just want to sing, and everyone's like, shh, no talking.
Exactly. It's actually, you say that because you start to learn like what you really miss when you can't do anything for 10 days. Like, what do you really miss? And what I missed were the people in my life and singing. I always think that like, all I really care about is like the songwriting, and the singing is like a nice extra. But on the retreat, I wasn't necessarily craving to write songs. I was craving to sing. Yeah, I'm going to put it on that little chair. Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah.
It's nice, right?
That's very nice.
This is the one.
Usually, I know like usually shows, like to go high energy at the end, right? gonna sit down, really bring the energy way down.
Kevin's gonna buy from me.
Brotherly love, everybody.
This is my young brother. He is a handsome young man, and he is slowly like becoming my tour manager. Maybe we're thinking about it.
Behind the scenes. I don't want to be.
Yeah, but you look so good.
I'm gonna sit down, really bring the energy way down. It's kind of like a different vibe. You have to stand out somehow, right? You can move completely into just the experience of the sound that you're hearing.
Thank you, Matthew. Have a good night.
Thank you, David, for being here. I love you.
Matthew, you are unbelievable. You're amazing. This feels like a bar mitzvah video. So, mazel tov.
Where do you like to get late night munchies?
Excellent question. Poutine, you can't go wrong with that. And the thing that I miss the most when I'm not here is bagels, for sure. Montreal bagels, can't go wrong with that either. And like a fresh bagel, St. Viator, Fairmount, like even real bagel, like all gooey and what have you. You need to buy a dozen, and then by the time you get home, you have like 2 left.